out there in the crypto world? Hey, let's talk about this new game, Blockcreate. We did a video on it last week. Want to do a little bit of follow-up today on basically how much earnings you can make from this. We're hearing that you can, there's not a lot of information out. It's brand new. It's actually not even on mainnet yet or on online. It's supposed to go online about February-ish. Let's talk a little bit about that, what you can make from this, and what this game's about. What's going to actually support this currency is called Block. So let's talk about this right now in DeFi IoT Latin America. Before we begin, I need to make a disclaimer. Here at DeFi IoT Latin America, we are not professional financial advisors, or are we paid by any company to promote certain products. We here at DeFi IoT Latin America, we invest our own money. We take our own risks. We learn, we make mistakes, and we share what we learn, our successes and our mistakes with you. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, and write to us what more you'd like to learn. Let's go in now and see what else we can share with you. All right, let's jump right into this. We're gonna go right to the page. I'm gonna jump into Reddit first here. I'll just show you a picture. Then we're gonna go in and see the actual homepage. Now you can go into this. Here's a picture of it here. Here's a better picture of what this looks like. Now this is just basically the first edition from what we're understanding. Again, there's a lot of different information out there, and we're gonna try to clarify some of that. I hope. We don't have a lot more information than a lot of people already have too. I have read the white paper, but the white paper really is not all that clear to how the game's going to actually work or what's going to actually support this coin to make it actually have a value to it, right? There are some clarifications here that I want to help you with, as well as we're helping ourselves. Remember, we did order 3 of these to play with. Now, I want to tell you this because there's, you know, the orders now that you can get from March and April is the green block. You can still get that. We'll show you that now. They come in March and April. And, you know, once they keep moving down the line, each block or each set of orders that comes out, they get actually lose power in the actual game. So basically the game is just nothing more than it's all kind of a digital game. Basically, that's how it's played. The block actually itself, the first block it came out, people have them now. You can see them on different YouTubers. We haven't got ours yet. I hope to get mine soon. I think we were right in the second edition, so we should have a block coming in really quick. But basically this block, it does nothing more than just a light that glows, right? As you can see here. However, the newer ones coming out, apparently you're going to need to plug those in. They're going to be more of a plug and play type of a miner type of block from what we're getting from a Reddit post. Let's take a look at this real quick here. Let's go in and review this a little bit and see what actually potential earnings we can get from this. We'll talk about that a little bit because they're all over the place on what people are getting, how they're earning them. Now, look, here's one thing I want to say. When you order this, some are saying once you make the order, it actually goes into the game and starts playing. Once it's created, so it doesn't necessarily mean when it's ordered. So once it's fabricated, once it's created, it gets a birthday on it. And once it's created, then it actually starts to go in and play in the game by itself, right? Not on a team, obviously. And that then generates a basic block coin. The block is called, the token here is called a block. This is on the Algorand algorithm, so on the blockchain. So you're on a good blockchain. But the game itself, a kicker in this is you got to wait until March or April. But at some point when it's actually fabricated, when it actually exists and gets a birthday, it already starts to actually mine. It actually starts to earn rewards. Now we're hearing things all across the board. So stay with us. Let's talk about how much you can actually get from this. Some are getting it as you open the package. Some are getting $5 a day. Some are getting a little more. Some are getting a little less. We'll talk about that here towards the end of the video. But right now I want to jump into just reviewing where you can find this at. Let's go in here real quick to the website. You're basically on blockcreate.io. You go in here, just a very basic website. There is no, now I'm just going to say something here. There are no references to actually who's behind this. There are no photos. You know, when you're talking about shams and so forth, you kind of look for that. You go into the homepage of the website and you look and see, well, is there any contact? Is there a physical address? Are there any pictures of the people behind this? There's none of that. So buyer beware. One thing I'm going to say though, we bought 3. They're a low threshold. I think with tax and shipping, they run about $270, $280. We'll look at that here in a minute too. If they do produce without playing $3 to $5 a day, then they're worth a while, right? I mean, if you can make $3 a day, you're making $9 a month back on your money. In 3 months, basically, you get your money back off of this. I don't like to say ROI because it's not really ROI. It's actually ROII because it's not really a return on your investment. You know, return on your investment's everything that comes in off of that investment, right? And so it will not just be monthly. ROII would be more return on initial investment on a monthly basis would be more correct terminology for this, where I went to school. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but that's for my education and my understanding as a CEO, that was more of a terminology that we would have used. So I don't want to get into that today. What I want to get into is this worth it? Is it a sham? Is it a scam? That's a good question. And I think that's what we're going to put out there today is what's going to make this thing go. You know, when we're talking about in blockchain, we're talking about a solution. A solution usually gets support behind it, right? And that support comes in by buying tokens. Well, then that solution comes out and people buy into that solution, whether it's a product or service like Helium, for example, and that gives it value and that pays back the people that are involved with the miners. In this, it's a game. It's basically a digital video game of blockchains that you get different values. And so each one that comes out now is in a limited set. We're going to go through and watch this right now too. As they come out in the limited set, basically there could be any blockchain, right? So they come in, it has a value to it, each one. And each batch that comes out will have a lesser value. So you want to get involved now. Not to say you can't make money down the road, but you're going to want to probably play on a team. So there's team play and there's solitary play. And the team play will combine different blocks and values and power. And actually, exactly how that all works, it's not very clear yet. They said they're going to come out and clarify this more as we move forward. The game is brand new. I mean, you're just buying the blocks now. It hasn't even started yet, and they're actually paying people from the moment that it's fabricated. In other words, once it's minted, if you will, that little cube they send you, you actually start making blocks. Which not the blocks, the square ones you get, but blocks, actually the token that's going to be used for this game. You get that, you already have that in your wallet, you set it up, and then you can begin playing solitary by yourself, or you can join teams. There's a lot of YouTubers out there putting teams together. We may even do that here at DeFi IoT Latin America because we have a person that's a video game expert here in-house. And that's all he does all day long for us is play video games and check these things out for us. But let's take a look at this a little more here. I want to just clarify a few of the things. You know, is it legit? Yeah, that's the question. And then I guess my answer to that was we don't know. We don't know yet if it's legit. What they're talking about doing is selling product. We can come. Let's go through this here. We'll jump through this and we'll review it. If you go in here, well, if you go back to the homepage, you go in and go to the players. I'm back to Spanish again here. You go here. You're going to go into new players. You hit new players. You're going to come into here. So here you're going to have a list of blocks. Eventually, once the more blocks come out, because the only blocks that are being sent out now are the initial first edition. So those were all mostly people that YouTubers, so far they got these sent to them. Some bought into them. They were like $200 to buy one of these. They're now a little more expensive. They seem to be going up a little bit in price. That could be due to also production shortage that we're seeing, you know, with a lot of different miners. Helium, Planet, etc. So that could be due to that because of actually inflation. Or is it that each block is going to start going up in price? And that's kind of what we want to talk about today in the video. Is say, hey, look, we're going to tell you the pros and cons of this. And if it's something that interests you, it's a video game. It has its risks to it. We don't know what it's going to do. But if you can get your money back, or at least make the money back off of that in 3 months, I think it'll probably last 3 months and not necessarily be a rug pull. So, you know, if it works and it looks like it's fun, it's getting a lot of talk, a lot of, you know, the plug and play YouTubers are actually pumping this. And, you know, I would think you're going to get 3 months out of it to get your money back. And if it goes longer term, then, you know, you got into it for a very cheap price, less than $300. Let's look at this real quick. Here's where it's going to be listed. You're going to be able to show, you know, basically all your different blockchains you have. You're going to show basically your additions. So everybody will be listed here. You hit one of these, it's just going to show you, you know, this blockchain's Ethereum. It's got 99 power, and that's going to be basically, that's going to be a block that can go on your team that is owned by somebody. And I really don't understand how that works yet. Nobody does that I've been listening to and asking. Nobody's were clear on this yet. So it's brand new, and therefore there's a risk behind it. Some are being skeptical because there is no contact information. But some are thinking, you know what, at least we probably got 3 months we can get our money back out of it. Here we go. Look, the green block now is still available. You have a total here and availability. You have what? Let's go ahead and click this. If I hit this, yeah, the green, look, green block down here, green block, shipping is March, April of this year, okay? So you look at March or April this year. You say, wow, I got to wait all that time for my block. Well, remember something. Once that block is actually fabricated, I say minted in this term because it starts creating tokens, right? Then once it actually is made, then it starts creating tokens. So when you get it in the mail during this time frame, you'll already have been earning tokens because it plays. It's going to play itself on this game. How that happens, nobody knows yet, but it does. When you get your wallet, you can see other YouTubers too. When you get it and you hook it up to your wallet, you're going to see you're already going to have coins in that you've been making on a daily basis. Here we go. There are 706 left. One just got sold or before we came on the air. There's 706 left. You'll be in batch 4. So basically then, if you look into this, batch 4 is going to have a little bit lower of a power. If you go into the white paper, which I suggest you do, you can come in and look at the white paper, punch in, you know, look up the white paper on this, and you can see for yourself in the white paper. Here, let me start to see here what page is actually on here. Now, a good thing about this is 90% of the rewards will be going to the actual players. So you have less than 5% in consensus and 5% in development of the players. You can accumulate up to 600 blocks a day, which right now is probably about $6 a day, right? So, and if this goes up higher, then you can actually, the block price will have a higher value to it. So right now, if you're getting 600 blocks a day, you're about almost $6 a day, a little bit less than $6 a day. Yeah, I wanted to find for you here in the white page exactly what the block power would be. I don't find it right now off the top of my head. But as you come into this in batch 4, it's going to be a less power. So what you're going to want to do is probably if you come in later, you're going to want to team up with other people. Now, they're going to have different advantages, disadvantages. How it works is this. Let's say I have Ethereum. And, you know, whatever my market capital is also going to reflect on what my power is that day in the game. So I can join different teams, and maybe I might have a less power on my block when I get it. But if my market cap is higher than anybody else's, then I'm get some sort of different advantage and points for that. So you play a game, you're attacking, you're on the defense and so forth. And so all that plays out kind of like an Axie Infinity thing, but with blockchains, and determine your powers and so forth are determined by the actual market cap and certain movements of that actual blockchain. So it's kind of interesting, a little different concept. However, it is just a game. There is no real solution to this. Let's jump into this. Here, let's go into, oh, by the way, the first blocks came out as cubes. We were hearing that those cubes do not have to connect to be able to play. The newer blocks, as you can see right here, the unlimited set onward. So now, the blocks coming out now will actually need to be plugged into your Wi-Fi to hook it into the blockchain. Okay, so they're going to actually be more like a minor device. The first ones weren't. First one, you just got a card, basically got your wallet address on it. You linked into a wallet address, and then you actually played. Well, nobody's playing yet physically. It actually is playing by itself through this computer automation. And now later this month, when the DApp is actually finished, it'll go online and we'll all start playing in this blockchain game. I said, we got 3, so we're invested in this. Nobody gave this to us. I'm not pumping this at all. I'm just telling you. Now, is it risky? Look, we don't see a solution for it. We don't see people behind it. There's a risk to it, but it's not a very high threshold to get in. And I think it'll last at least for a few months so you can get your money back, if not all of your money back. Again, this is not financial advice. This is our thinking, what we're doing. And let's look at this. How is this going to make money? Well, first of all, it is on the Algorand blockchain, which we know is a very credible blockchain. It's one of the more stable blockchains. I guess you could say it's more of one of the blue chip blockchains. Algorand today is trading $1.47 for a coin. And it is on this blockchain, so it's a stable blockchain. But how does it make money? Well, here's a Reddit response. So we have the blocks and play this game. The rewards are daily. What's the plans to increase the value of these blocks? In other words, what's going to create that demand? Here's one of the responses. You'll be able to buy more physical products in the market soon. Now, if we go back here, you're going to see here it says market right here, right? We're going to click on this here real quick and see what we get in market. So market's just nothing but a wallet address for now, but they are going to release a marketplace where you're going to be able to trade different blocks. So if you don't like your block, you can maybe buy a different block, and somebody else for their team wants to buy a lower block. Each one's going to have advantage and disadvantage. Very similar from my understanding is like the Axie Infinity players, as well as other games. And there's another reason. There's another I guess you could say, well, what's going to support this? What solution? Well, what solution do video games that are paying players to play have? Like Axie Infinity, for example, Sandbox. What solution do they bring to the table? Well, other than playing and paying and creating this algorithm in this interchange of money, if you will, tokens and coins, it's a video game, right? So I would say this is going to be looked at more like a video game. They're going to have some support in here. As it says, you'll be able to buy physical products from the marketplace, which is not out yet. Marketplace won't come out for a few months. As well as the blocks, you can trade them there as well. We'll be adding other physical miners and devices. So there are going to be different types of miners coming out and different type of devices. You'll be able to add to either this game or blockchain or a different type of a different algorithm. I'm not very clear on that, but they're saying they're going to have other miners and devices, physical ones. The marketplace is a place where you'll be able to spend blocks, that's the token, right, on actual things. Things like, think of it like a physical exchange for crypto, but it only takes blocks. Okay, and also you have the game itself, where people are going to be buying the blocks, coming in, interchanging the blocks out. So that's where the tokenomics are coming in. There is a limited supply. The supply is going to be, let's jump over here on the actual white paper here. 42 billion total coins are in existence, okay? 5% of the available blocks are locked. Let's talk about this now. And 5% we talked about are going to be in consensus. Their use will be decided after by a vote at 50% of the total allocated consensus blocks per year. In other words, whatever blocks are allocated per year to come out, then after that, there'll be a 5% that's held in reserve, putting it in basic terms. And how that's going to be allocated will be determined by a vote once 50% of the actual allocated blocks to be distributed to the players during the year reach a 50% mark, okay? 5% of the blocks are allocated to the development of blocks infrastructure, okay? The remaining 90% of the blocks can only be used for rewarding the competition, for those who compete. Look at it, look here. Each block has a power value, which is static. However, a block's charge is dynamic. You know, you have, here's basically how it works. You can have somebody who's going to come in and have basically a very static block. They will do like a staking, and they form the team. Then your team players come in, and for every 16 team players, or if you want somebody else to actually form a team, you need to actually stake and have the players underneath those staked blocks, right? How that's actually going to work, how it's going to pay off, we don't know details yet. Nobody does yet. We're still waiting for that. So basically, that's how it's going to work. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers out there trying to form teams. We might do that, or we might join one of theirs and just kind of show you what we're doing, so and tell you where we're at, so you can join in and play with us or with the team we're going to join into. So you're going to have 42 billion blocks in this. They're already going to be created. It's not like we're going to be mining them, from what we're understanding here, and there's going to be a payout to it. Now look here. Having events will occur at every time 50% of the rewardable supply has been dispersed to competitions. A halving event means that block rewards are cut in half. The epic value is 1. And the first halving event being 2, and so on, right? As seen in the function below, during the time when the first 45% of the total block supply is in play, blocks can accumulate up to 600 blocks per day, as we're saying, for a single play. Per day given block is competing solo with a charge ratio of 1. 1 being, from my understanding, a low charge ratio. So if you just hook it up and just let it play by itself, you can make 600 up to 600 blocks a day, which today value, you know, it's hard to go in and see because it's on Tinyman is where you trade that at right now. And you remember Tinyman got hacked, but Tinyman was able to go back and claw back and restore all of the coins that were taken from him. So Tinyman should be back online again, hopefully very soon. And there is where you can actually buy the blocks and trade the blocks right now. There are, I read an announcement, there's another platform that's going to be also allowing you to buy and sell the blocks on the platform. It's not announced who it is at this point. So basically, is it a scam? Well, as we showed you here, they're going to create a marketplace. They're going to come out with their type of miners. There's no real cut and dry roadmap from the white paper, I didn't feel. Is it a risk? Yes, but it's a low risk. Are a lot of people getting involved with it? Yeah, there's a lot of people jumping in. We're seeing a lot of steam behind this. So it looks like it could be fun for a while. I don't know if it's going to be long term. It all depends what they do with this because I don't see a solution to it. It just looks like a video game, or a game, I should say. And, you know, the games themselves pay. And if you get enough people into it, which you're starting to see now coming in, then you're going to have some life to it. It's not a very high risk to get in. You know, I think we showed here was what, $270 to get in? You can still get in now. Where are we? What it was, $250 plus shipping, so you're about $270. There's 706 of these left. Let me see, let me refresh this. 706 left as we speak. All right, so we're gonna get involved. Just want to give you a little more update on this. Is it a sham or is it not? You know, we think it's a game. And that's where we're gonna look at it. And so we got involved with 3 of them. So we're into this, you know, a little under $1,000. And we're going to get in and play the game for a while. And we'll see what, you know, probably our last video until we get our block coming out, or we know more coming out, how it actually pays from watching other people get their blocks. And we'll relate that to you as well. DeFi IoT Latin America. If you want to stay with us on this, you want to play with us, let us know below. Hit the subscribe button, please, and give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell. We got a lot more videos coming out. We're going to do a lot more of the plug and play as well as mining, GPU mining. We cover the whole board here at DeFi IoT Latin America. Don't miss us.